Proceed.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, and to the members of the council. My name is Alan Scott. I'm a member of the Citizens for California High-Speed Rail Accountability in Kings County. We're down here tonight to just continue to raise awareness of some of the concerns we have with the high-speed rail. And to begin with, on September 8th, 2011, the corporation of J.G. Boswell and Company wrote a letter to the Board of Directors of the High-Speed Rail asking for consideration to change the review period for the EIR-EIS to 6 months. Reason being, the document is expansive, and I believe this is some of that. So we're here to just say we support that. I also see on your agenda that you're going to get an update, and then below that it says staff recommends acceptance of the report. We really ask that serious consideration be given because this document is extensive. We have an attorney and we have a land use expert working with us, and we have established linkages throughout the valley. We're starting to get calls from Bakersfield right now to our organization because we only started up a couple months ago, and we've been very influential in making some very specific gains. We are challenging the alignment and a lot of the EIR. One of the big things in the high-speed rail documentation is, and one of our members found this out the other day, one of the documents the high-speed rail is producing says on the back of it that, and I'm sorry I don't have a copy of it with me right now, but says that there are no impacts to the Central Valley for the high-speed rail. That is unacceptably false. It is not true. There is enough information out there, both factual and some that is going to be supported factually after the review period. It will show that that is totally incorrect. There is misusage of, let's put it this way here, the best thing I can say is transparency is a very, very difficult thing to get through to the high-speed rail. Back in June, I asked a question up in Kings County of the high-speed rail of Jeff Abercrombie, who was the regional manager for the valley. And I said, Kings County stands to lose $100 million a year in annual revenue, or loss of revenues, productivity to the valley, loss of our income, and the farms are going to be split in half, split in quarters, split in diagonals, etc. I asked that of him at the meeting at the fairgrounds, and I got no answer. We fast forward to July 14th. The county office is down here. I had an opportunity to speak for them again, and I asked Mr. Abercrombie, I'm still waiting for an answer on what you're going to do with Kings County. How are you going to replace the $100 million that we're going to lose annually every year thereafter if the rail comes through? And we now know that there is going to be no station in Handford, Wasco, and Corcoran. They're moving the Amtrak station out, so we lose our cheap transportation. In addition, there's an article that just came out by a reporter out of L.A., and he basically said, when I went to the 9/11 event and I was going to take the Acela for $104, and I may be off a little bit on the money, but I'm in the ballpark, and a 1-hour drive, he took the bus for 2 hours at $13 and wrote an article now not supporting the high-speed rail. I thank you very much for your time, and thank you for the code pink, or the pink town pink. It's great.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Mr. Scott. Madam Clerk, next public speaker, please.
Michael Kennedy regarding high-speed rail.
Good evening. Please identify yourself and proceed.
Michael Kennedy, principal of Bethel Christian School here in Bakersfield. I'd like to thank you, Mr. Mayor, for allowing me to speak tonight, and council members. I want to affirm what the previous speaker here has already mentioned, that there are some major impacts when it comes to the high-speed rail, and there are some impacts here in Bakersfield. The area that concerns me is East Bakersfield. I have been notified by a grassroots movement here within our valley that our Christian school, who's been in the area now for 30 years, we're actually, I think, going on our 32nd year this year, that our school has been left out of the report. And I think that is quite significant. Our school has been a dominant force within our community, even though it has been a small school. Not only that, but our school is connected with the church ministry. And our church ministry is the First Free Will Baptist Church. That church has been around for 60 years. And as I understand it, there will be substantial impacts. We already know that it will impact the churches, and it will take out at least one of our sanctuaries. But again, my concern tonight is the fact that our school was not included in the report. And I believe that it's important that our school is included in that report. And I would ask that the council members this evening consider that as you consider adopting this report. With that said, the church and the school that I'm talking about this evening, if I may speak on behalf of our church, as our pastor is not able to be here this evening, our church over the past 60 years, the members of that church have invested in the property. And there have been a total of 22 parcels of land that have been purchased one at a time over the course of the last 60 years. We built 3 sanctuaries on that property. The property is worth $2.6 million right now, according to the most recent evaluation that we had on the property. And the fear that we have, if I was to put the school aside and just look at the church tonight, is that even if our buildings are not taken via eminent domain, even if they're not demolished, even if they're not destroyed, the rail will run close enough to our church and close enough to our school that it will cause a major disturbance. It would be difficult to have a church service go on while a high-speed rail or a train is passing at 200 miles an hour. No place in the report is there anything relating to a sound barrier to help out in those regards, and I think that should be included. With that said, the same applies to our school. It would be impossible to carry on a normal school day with a train passing at 200 miles an hour. I thank you for your time. Thank you for your consideration this evening.
Thank you very much.